The coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run on first down. Campbell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, it's Campbell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders.
And he lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 40 now on second down. Jackson looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, Jackson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 41-yard line. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
On the run, it's Campbell. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a cutback left and a crease here. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. On the stop, Breeland speaks.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down now, it's Campbell. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete. It's Bell. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And some space here. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run with the big man, Campbell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A big play there. 76 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Going for the deep ball. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He finds Coleman. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And a Panther first down.
Let's go now. Hey, hold on. 53. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Now a give here to Scarlett. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He was brought down by Avery Williamson.
And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
A pitch back. Breaks a tackle. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. That's to McCaffrey, complete. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, it's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. They run the counter. Campbell, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They go play action with Jackson. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Campbell, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Boston shot through on the safety blitz for the sack. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So you had of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he could make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K-Rod short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation. If it
got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Cut up. Let's go, baby. We need turnover. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Austin Safarian-Jenkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets will extend their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on
big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 28. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stop. They treated like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And Jackson throwing once more. Going deep here for Bryant. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Now Jackson on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson operating from the gun. He's going to fire one. He's got a man complete. The 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Devin Funchess. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception. And now their task is even tougher.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
54 Mike. Come on. Max box.
Again, they run with Campbell. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Johnson's got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
They'll hand this to Campbell, running right, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
54 Mike.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He finds his man Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Jackson flush to his right. And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he loses the football the 2nd time. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Campbell. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal.
Here we go.
They'll give to the big man, Campbell. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Panthers. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. 10. And he cuts it middle and some open room there. And he cuts it right into space. He cuts right sideline in some space. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on third and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on fourth and goal. And his kick is indeed good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they'd like to let them stand.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Panthers' 30-yard line.
And they will take a knee here. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.